Hello, Jamie from Inky&Scrappy back with my Let's Start Stamping series, and we're going Halloween today. Why Halloween? Because I said I was going to this week. But I also got a Lawn Fawn's new Halloween mice, and of course the little mouse on the broomstick is adorable, as is, the little ghost. The cat is hilarious to me. A mouse dressed as a cat kind of ties back to my cat ornament on the mouse tree. Anyways, of course, they did it so you could do Wicked with the witch, and of course, the good witch, or the princess, or whatever, the fairy, I don't know, whatever the little wand's for. And of course, the little mouse and the pumpkin is adorable as well. I think I'm using the little witch today. I don't know if we're going to do the trees or not, because I was kind of thinking of doing a mini scene up in the sky and kind of just make my papers do the rest for me. So I think we're going to start with our card base, or our card layout to start with. And so I'm going to pull some pattern paper from here. I suppose I can set this one off to the side, which would be a lot easier if my desk wasn't covered in things. It happens. That's the regular rate. I have like 3 cups of markers pulled because I've been working on coloring and nothing else. It's all good. So I want to grab, I think the witch one would be cute on here. I don't know which one I'm going to need. We're going to cut this kind of up a little bit, I'm pretty sure. I love the plaid. I do like this one kind of as this sky background, because I plan on doing the little scene on a separate piece, but it'd be kind of fun to use this one as maybe the background piece there. So I'll keep that one in mind. I also saw the little town one I thought would be cute, so I think I'm going to pull that one out. There's a nice solid green on the back. I've been trying to do a little bit more pattern on pattern lately, just because it's not my normal, and sometimes it's good to get away from said normal. I really like, keeping them either tone on tone or very simple patterns, but sometimes it's good to kind of move out of our comfort zone. So I am again using a pattern out of Close to My Heart's Originals book. I'm sure if you look, I know we found some online at like the used secondhand ones, but I'm going to use the Sweet and Simple one. I'll modify to my likings for the most part, but this is just going to be my base pieces. I just want to cut this one is supposed to be the background piece of paper, which I'm going to actually cut a different pattern out of. C is going to be a solid color that's going to back my B, which is going to be where I'm actually going to have my little mini scene. And then down here for D, I'll probably do the town down here, just kind of give the illusion of flying, I guess, kind of building the scene without having to build the scene. But I'm just going to kind of take those ones, and E, I don't know if I'll do E at all. I might just end up adding a sentiment down there or such. So I need A, which is going to be 3 3/4 inches. I think we're going to go with this one. So how wide is that one? That one is 1.25 inches. So I'm going to be able to get, it's going to be tight. So I'm just going to cut this one this way. Looks like for some reason. Anyway, so 1.25 inches on the top for sure. And then this one is 3 1/4 long. This one's like crooked, so I don't know if it cut, I cut it, so of course it's probably crooked originally. I'm going to put this one down on the bottom. So this one I want 1 3/4. Oh, but I really want to do, So I'm going to play with my pattern paper here a little bit. I want to make sure that I have a row of houses. It looks size-wise that it's going to work out okay. And so I kind of want to make sure that I have a whole row. So doing that 1 3/4, I'm just going to kind of selectively cut here. So I get that whole row of houses. I cannot talk today. Good gracious. It's going to be a long video for you. I mean, I really don't know how long of a video it's going to be. It's just going to be me fumbling over my words. My allergies are in love with, can I say they're in love with me? They hate me today, probably more like it. So this is kind of how we're going with our layout as such. So this piece is what I'm going to need there yet. Let's see which one's going to look better here. Ooh, I like the ghosts too. I like the plaid. I mean, we could definitely go with the plaid. But I don't think I'm going to have enough plaid on this one. Why? Okay, so this one would be 3 3/4. Let's see if we can get it to where I think we're gonna end up with the, yeah, we're gonna end up with that one. So I'm gonna come in with, I gotta grab another sheet. Since I have to grab another sheet, we're gonna go with the freaking bats because I love bats on paper. Don't love bats in real life. Okay? Okay. I'm glad we had this TED Talk. 3 3/4. And I'm just gonna, for ease, I'm just gonna cut this one at, well, 4 1/4 would be what I need. My other one is 1 1.25 inches. So I can cut this one at 3. And that should go right here. How did I not cut that one the right way? Anyways, I could also use the stars if I thought the other one wasn't right. Maybe I cut that one wrong. I don't know. We'll see. If I have to fill it in with another scrap of paper, I fill it in with another scrap of paper. Is it the first time? Nope. I mean, we could always use that piece. Okay. I probably cut it wrong. Let's be honest here. Let's grab a piece of cardstock base. So I'm just going to bring in a piece of white cardstock base here. Let's move this one off the side. And I'm going to reinforce my fold here as my doom piles come tumbling down around. Oh my gosh, it's insane. Okay. I'm just going to add a very thin bit of glue around the outside of this piece. And then I'm just going to butt it up into my corner on top. I like to start with corners. It usually makes it easier to line things up. So if you start with the corner and go that way. This one, yeah, I did cut it too short. I don't know how that happened. Well, okay, it was me. But anyways, I obviously struggle. Okay, and then we're going to add this one down here. I bet I cut it at 3 1/4, not 3 3/4, because, you know, genius. Alrighty. And then I'll put this one. I mean, you can see which one you like better, kind of flipping and flopping what you have. I kind of like the stars, just because I love the bats, though. But it's like purple on purple. I guess we'll make it work. We'll go with it. The stars would be cute too. I'm thinking I have a piece of black glitter cardstock that would be perfect there. Let me find it. Black glitter. This one's not, I bet this one will work. I think we're gonna put that there and we'll do it as a belly band. Kind of, sort of, not really a belly band, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, we don't know what you mean. Okay, I'm gonna cut this one at, I'm trying to decide which way to cut it. I'm gonna eyeball it. Does not look even. Alright, I don't think it is even. So I'm gonna do one cut to try to make it even first. See, it wasn't quite even. Okay, and then I'm gonna, well, this one goes here. You can't see, but there's marks on the other side. So I'm gonna try to go for a little over 1/2 inch. It's currently at like 5 5/8, so I'm going to go down to about, which is just over 1/2. So I think if I cut it at 5, it's going to be too much. So 5 and about that. I'm just going to measure with my card base. Yep, it'll cover that area. And then I will cut it this way at 4 1/4. This is going to cover up that seam as well, so it's going to break up that purple on purple, which I think is what I'm not in love with, hence why I liked the stars. But it also breaks up that purple on there, and so I like how that one looks. So I'm going to add this one on top. My pretty black cardstock came from either Michael's, maybe, like in their loose sheet paper, maybe Hobby Lobby, but for some reason I'm thinking it was a Michael's purchase because I liked it for on records. Like when I made a record card, I wanted, it kind of looks like, you know, what the little lines on the record would look like. That's why I bought it originally. Anyways, so there we have our card base layout for the most part. Now it's a matter of doing my other cuts. See, it's supposed to be 2 1/4 by 3 inches. And I think, let's see, what color do we want to go? I kind of want to do the orange because it's really going to pop. There's orange in this one, there's orange in that one. I thought about doing the green, but there's so little green that I think it's going to be too much green. Well, I mean, it's going to be a very thin line anyways. That's not the right color of green. We can look at both, I guess. That's not the right color of green. That's not the right color. That's too dark. Alright, let me put my orange. I like that one. Okay. I want to say this one is Autumn Terracotta from Close to My Heart. I'm 100% certain that's the color that it is. But it's in my scrap bucket, so no promises. So what did I say my length needed to be? 3 inches. Which we're at 3 1/2, so let's go 3 inches by 2 1/4. So 3 inches by 2 1/4, and we can put that one up here, and then we'll do a little piece of white down below. Let's see if this one's should be good. So I'm guessing this one is supposed to be 2 inches. 2 3/4. I mean, I have a big enough piece if I messed up. So this one will go on top of that one, right up there. And then let's figure out our stamped images. So I'm not going to put that down yet until I know that it's going to work with my stamped images or my images that I planned. Switch this one out. I really don't need all of that, but I need a piece of Xpress it. So I'm putting this one down just because it's going to help me figure out, I don't want to say placement, but yes, placement, and what I all need on my piece of paper. So I am going to, I want the witch to be up on top here. So I kind of just want her flying through the sky. Do I want the moon? Yeah, we could throw the moon in there. Maybe at her back. And I think we're going to go off. I love going off of the little mini scene because I just think it's fun and kind of brings a little bit of, I don't know, brings your scene wider than what the eye sees, or it feels like it's going further off the paper. But if you don't like that look, feel free to chop it all off and make it fit inside the lines. I like going outside the box. I will probably bring in the little bat when we're all done and just stamp him randomly to fill in space. I think that's what we're going to do though with this one, and I'm not going to use those stars. If I add stars, I'm going to use some little clay ones that I picked up because I can use the glow in the dark ones then. It's me, you know this, right? Okay. So I have my images that I want. Do I want anything on the bottom? These are good questions. So I kind of have my layout figured out, and I'm just going to put them on this piece of paper because this is going to be my cutout one. Do I want, because we could definitely put a tree down below on top, or, you know, something down here if we wanted to. I don't think we're going to. This one goes there. Okay, so we're going to stamp this one out. Helps if we put a magnet on there to keep it all down. Wiggle it. I want to leave enough room. I'm going to move this one in or flip it just because I want to leave enough room that I can get tape all the way around it so I can run through the brother scanner. I feel lazy today. I don't know if it's lazy. It takes me just as much time. I just don't feel like cutting. Does that make sense? Now, I have been struggling with all of my alcohol-friendly inks when it comes to stamping and not being able to color. You know, you can color them, but I've been getting the streak. I don't know if it's new formulations or if it's summertime humidity stuff and not, I don't know. I still think it's just new formulations, but I've been heat setting it and I've been having better luck with it. So, you know, if you don't have a heat gun, try to let it dry for an extended period of time. Like, stamp your stuff, walk away from it for a few hours. But if you have a heat tool, even just a hairdryer will work to like heat set your ink. I will say it's not as noticeable with dark colored ink. It's really noticeable with the more alcohol based lighter ink colors, and so it's something I've struggled with lately. I think I just threw it in the garbage not that long ago, like today. It's from today's coloring. So what I mean is like it'll run, and so you see how it like picks up the black with your lighter color, and so yeah, then it's a pain in the butt, and such is life. Colors for this one, I'm gonna try to stick with my colors that are there. Let's see what we have. That's on here. Let's see if I have a purple that's going to be similar. I don't know. Oh, maybe this one. V369. I don't have any of my colors pulled today. Okay. I markered myself. I'm going to use that on the little hat here. Just on the little band. For that one, let's grab 397. I have 390 or 495. So 495 is going to be my darker tone on the broom. And I usually like to do my broom like I do hair, so I kind of wisp it in from both ends. And then 397 would be the other one that I want. I don't have that one right here, so I'm just going to use a similarly lighter yellow color and pull that one in. I didn't say I was prepared today, just so you know. Yeah. The moon. What color do I want to do? Do I want to do it? Let's do some yellows. The moon has been awesome lately. So is the sun. A lot of that's because of the wildfires in Canada. We get a lot of stuff in the air from that, and it turns, you know, the sunsets are nice and red, and the moon will be like an orangish red when it rises, and it's pretty cool. It's really the only good part about, you know, the added pollutants, such as life. Let's see here. And then for my mouse and my clouds, I'm gonna try to go, we could do some green in the clouds. What color do I, if I make my sky a deep dark purple and I do like some greenish to the clouds, I could do 289 and the colorless blender. So I'm going to bring in the colorless blender. You'll get a colorless blender in your I think both the 60 and the other one comes with the colorless blender. Oh, this one's a double brush. It'll look like this. It'll have the same whatever on them, I guess, like whatever your tips are. So I just do tip to tip on it. I'm gonna bleed it out a little bit. I don't want it to be that dark. I kind of want it to be a lighter shade. And so I'm just gonna kind of bring that in on my clouds. These are like little wispy, spooky clouds. So I'm not gonna color the whole cloud. I just kind of want to bring in and add some like green highlights to them. Maybe even add a little bit of green onto the moon. And then when I'm done, I'm going to come back over here and color out the rest of my green so that my blending marker is ready for my next color. If I use it now, or if I use it a week from now, 2 weeks from now, I don't have to worry about there being another color on there yet. It's just, it's a smart move. Should we say it's a smart move? It's a pretty smart move to do it that way. Let's see what I have for tans. Okay. Go back to the blacks. I could do warm gray 200 and warm gray 170 for the hat. 200 is going to be like black, and warm gray is going to be a little bit lighter. I'm going to try to go fairly light with my black, only hitting it once. I'm going to give my little mouse a black nose. You could do a pink nose, I guess. It's up to you. And then I'm gonna leave the front kind of the hat for the lighter one. I'm gonna come in first with the lighter one on over the black, so it kind of will bleed it out a little bit, lighten it, let that sit a little bit, and then I'm gonna go over the whole area once again with my lighter tone. just to kind of give me a little bit of a blend. I probably could have done that towards the front and not rounded the brim. It is what it is. I need a brown for the broomstick and for my mouse. You could, I guess you could do the mouse in the gray. I wouldn't do both the gray and the black. I could do GG 030 would have been an option. Let's go 189. 189, which is going to be the thin persimmon, and I'm going to use this one on my mouse, and I'm just going to use one color on the mouse, and I'm just going to layer my inks to get the illusion of multiple colors. So I kind of just lay down where I think my shadows are going to be. I don't follow any rules. I probably should have figured out where my moon was going to go, if he was going to be in the front of the moon, the back of the moon, and I know I did it when we started, but I don't remember. So if you're better than me, you can definitely plan that ahead of time, and then you can get your moon in the right, because I think I have the moon to the back. Yeah, well, such is life. Okay, I'm just gonna go over that whole area one more time with that same color. It's gonna darken up in the areas that are already colored, and it'll be that shade lighter in the areas that weren't. And then we're gonna go 288 maybe. Ooh, it's not there, which means it's in a bucket somewhere. 288 hazelnuts for my broomstick. I just like to take a different shade of brown, you know, if we're going to be doing two different kind of objects in brown. That's why I do that. The inside of the ear, I would probably go with a pink tone. So let's see, I have two. Well, this one isn't in the 60, but it's going to be close. So I'm just going to take one of, it's like an R196 color tone, and just do the inside of the ear. You could do that for the nose too if you want. I'm fine with the black nose. And then I'm going to take this to the Brother Scan and cut those out. But before we do that, let's do our little mini scene background piece. So for this one, I'm going to bring in a Villainous Potion just because it's my favorite, but it's not going to really go with that one, is it? Let's see. Seedless Preserve, I would say, is probably going to be the closest to my pattern paper. So I'm going to bring in Seedless Preserve, and then to darken that up, I'm going to come in with some black soot to give me kind of like that dark sky look. Let's go with the Seedless Preserve first. And I'm just going to bring in a blending brush for this one. If you have the blending foams, I would probably go that route, but I'm just going to go with the blending brush on this one because it's a fairly small piece. If I was doing a whole big A2 background, I would definitely bring in my blending foams. It just tends to go faster. And of course, I'm going to end up touching my background. So if you have a block, works really good to hold on to your paper. Some people use like a sticky mat. I have a sticky mat. As you can tell, I'm really great about using said sticky mat. I'm horrible about pulling it out. I don't keep it on the top of my desk, and if it's not in sight, it's a hassle for me to get out, or I just don't think about it to get it out. For this one, I'm gonna come in with, I wanna do like a cloud, but remember my clouds are kind of like that hazy looking cloud, and so I'm gonna come in with my black. Let's just tear a little piece and work this way and see what we get. So I'm just gonna go with a really light hand at first and kind of see how it moves along. This is an easy way to kind of add those streaky clouds in without having a stencil. I probably should have. I I hope we got all of that. I don't know when it quit recording. I heard it click though, so hopefully. I'm gonna bring in the Windsor & Newton Iridescent Watercolor Medium. I mix, there's like this much of it in the bottle of water. The rest was all water when I started. So that's how far it goes. Really a couple of droppers maybe does a fairly good amount of stuff. But I'm just gonna spray, you know, I love sparkle. So I'm just gonna spray that on there. Generously, you can take it out and tap it if you want some bigger sparkles on there. And then I'm just going to let that dry on there. It's going to give it a nice light iridescent. It's also going to kind of give that illusion of maybe some stars in the background. And then of course I'm going to wipe down my area that I sprayed. So I ran that through the brother. Scan and cut. Whew, I told you it was going to be a rough one. I need a nap. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so now we're just going to figure out our layout here. I want to kind of make these go off the edges a little bit, not overly a lot. That one there. Do I want to do cloud there or the cloud there? Maybe I won't go off with the bottom one. I think that looks good. I'm also going to pop up the little mouse. So I'm going to start with gluing down these pieces first. And then I will add some foam tape to the back. I'm just using the foam, the 1/8 inch thick foam strips. It works great for the little broom handle here. And then just adding a couple of more little pieces here and there. The mouse tail probably I'll skip just because it's finicky and it'll probably be fine. And well, if not, you know, he lost it, she lost it, flapping in the breeze, I guess. Pop that one on there, and then we will pop this one on to this piece. Trying to center it the best that my eyeballs can do. Obviously they're stellar today because, you know, my first piece of paper was cut amazingly well. All right, and then I'm just gonna pop this one onto the top of my card base here. Sentiment. Do I need a sentiment on the outside? I kind of like this one without a sentiment on it, to be honest. Sentiments that come with the set are, let's see, wishing you a nice Halloween, or, you know, wicked, happy, all the things, right? So we could maybe do a little piece underneath there, I suppose. I have this little orange piece that would maybe work, I suppose. Okay, we'll add a sentiment. You convinced me. I'm gonna bring back in the stamp platform here. I'm gonna stamp it out and then I'll probably just die cut my sentiment, but you know, feel free to freehand it. I would probably go a little bit thinner than that, but being that's what's cut, and since I have, you know, what do I want? Witching? Or I really want have a wicked day, but witching you is gonna have to work. So witching you. A wicked. I think I can get that all on there. Oh yeah. And of course the lawn fawn ones usually butt up really nicely to one another. So that's what I'm going to do, or try to do. And then I'm just going to pop that down. Of course my magnet's in the way. Why wouldn't it be? Okay, really the other stamp set, or the rest of the stamp set is in the way. Why would it be in the way? It's like I plan these things. Okay, I'm going to stamp with some VersaFine Onyx Black onto my stamp pad there. Let me move some stuff so you can actually see. Good golly. Okay. And move that up a little bit. We will press that down. Ooh, it went okay, but not great. I don't think we're lined back up, so I'm not going to double stamp that one. It wiggled. It is what it is. Okay, let me grab. I kind of want to do this one, but I kind of want it straight too. So my sentiment is like really long, and it's going to be too long for that sentiment strip, and this one, which worries me that it might be too long in general. It'll fit. Okay, so I'm going to come in with this one, and we're going to try to do some partial cuts. So I want it to be that one long line. This is how we extend, or hopefully extend, our die cuts when they're not long enough. It's kind of the opposite of when they're, well, it's very similar to when they're too long and you want to just get the one edge off. So I'm going to use the little one because it's sitting right here. I know, crazy. I used it last week. It's still sitting right here. Yeah, I haven't been in here lately a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna position it so my tail is hanging out. By doing it that way, it's not actually gonna cut. It's not gonna get close to cutting the end, so I don't have to worry about it accidentally cutting the end. So it's gonna cut that far, right? And then we're just gonna line up the other side. So I want this to be fairly close on this side, but I'm gonna go on the back side here and just kind of put that in the groove. So I'm just gonna line that back up with the rest of my sentiment. Make sure that it's still in that same position. And then we're going to run it through again. I'm not gonna run it all the way through. I'm just gonna run it through about halfway because that's all the more that I need it. And then I'm going to flip it over, make sure that we're cut all the way through. So this way I get that extended cut that I need. And then of course, because I used tape, it transferred onto my tape. And so I'm going to fix that just with a black fine liner to kind of add my sentiment back. So just taking it and just tracing it carefully is, I don't know, that's what I do when I have my stamp moves in my or my piece of paper moves in my platform and I didn't get amazing impression the first time. Or when you die cut, it wasn't dry, and the tape sucked the ink right off the paper. It happens. And fun to suck your blood. Oh, same thing? Not same thing? I don't know. Okay. Since we're going, we might as well go all the way to town. Okay. Okay, I had to cover way more letters than I meant to. And then we can do the Witching You a Wicked Halloween. I think I'm going to do it below the house. The other option would be to put it on top of that black strip. That's cute too. Oh, decisions. That way or that way? I like them both. I think I'm going to put it on that black piece. It just makes that black piece look like it was meant to be there for a reason. Not because I didn't cut right. See? Happy screw-ups. Sometimes they just work out in the end. And so I have the Witching You a Wicked Halloween, and I did say some glow-in-the-dark stars would be kind of cool. Let's see. So these are Glowing Sky from Trinity stamps. There's multiple companies that have the glow-in-the-dark stars out there. This one has stars and moons. I like the Trinity ones, usually have like multiple sizes, which is kind of nice. Most of these are the same size. There's a couple of bigger ones in there. I'm going to go with the smaller ones. I'm just going to add a couple in here to start, and then, you know, like this stars in the sky, I'll probably continue to add because, you know, I have a hard time stopping. Well, I kind of just like the 3. I could go with a couple more, but I think we're just gonna leave it at 3. 3 or 5. That's, you know, it's probably plenty. It's such a little scene, and I don't want to overpower the whole thing, so we'll tuck those back inside. But there we have our little Witching You a Wicked Halloween card. The inside, I'll find some Halloween sentiment. Oh, you'll get to see it in a little bit. I'm not going to do that on my camera just because, you know, time. I lied. We're missing bats. How could I forget about the bats? Okay, I'm gonna add a bat or two. One bat, 2 bats. Do I need a 3rd bat? Of course I need a 3rd bat. And then I'm going to add a bat onto the inside. So you do get to see the inside of the card. What is on my stamp? Okay, let's try it again. Ah! My fingers. Goobies and goobies. Oh well, good enough. Okay. Inky fingers. I mean, I wouldn't be called Inky or Scrappy for nothing. Okay, there we go. Now it's finished. The bats on the outside, bats on the inside. Life is good. Okay, bye.